Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Elias and welcome back to UniversIO. In the last episode, we did a little bit of work, just kind of working towards a better base. We automated our reactor, we got something that's going to help us store a lot of items, and we made a better furnace. We didn't really do that much, to be perfectly honest, but it's stuff that we need to get done. And speaking of which, I've been working on some things. You might notice that is moved. We're gonna get some more quests done today. But I have been working over here, and doesn't look like much yet. I need to fix that. I forgot about that part. Just use this stuff. I went ahead and made this pipe wrench. I don't think we had one. Just some red dye, some iron, and some pipes. And I've worked pipes around. I've obviously finished this room. And we have all of the Botany flowers currently growing, and then we'll have more stuff relatively soon. I just gotta get it. But let's go ahead, and I want to fix this. There is some things I want to work on today with kind of the base. But the big thing that I want to work on is I want to get into Botania a little bit, and I want to make it so that we can get nether quartz really easily. And the way to do that is with the Conjuration Catalyst, which allows you to duplicate items. Most notably, nether quartz. Nether quartz is the only thing that we really care about. We can get redstone other ways, and it's a little bit cheaper to get redstone with just the cosmic dust. So that's probably what we're going to do for that. But to get the Conjuration Catalyst, we need to open a portal to Alfheim and talk to the elves and do some other stuff. Still working on getting levels. It is slow going, but we'll get there. So, first things first, I think what I want to do is let's do a little bit of chemistry and get a few new things. So we're going to put 4 bromine in there, and then we're going to put in these 4 elements. So hydrogen to get krypton, helium to get rubidium, neon to get, let's make sure we get rid of these. These are all the ones that are left for the record. So neon gave us rhodium, and beryllium will give us, I don't remember what it was, yttrium. So that's easy enough. Just wanted to get some more elements and complete some more quests. So there is still a lot to do. I just need to figure out what I want to use. You know, maybe grab tungsten and get the rest of these. Maybe grab iodine and get a bunch as well. And I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do. But I moved the reactor just so we could hook it up to the power there. And yeah, I want to start today by making use of our storage drawers. Now there's 2 things that we're going to need to do. Well, there's 3 things technically. We're going to need to get some upgrades at some point, which I just want to show off. Upgrades are just sticks and a drawer. Pretty easy. As well as, I should show this off too. We're going to make compacting drawers at some point, but I'm probably going to do this off camera. It requires a drawer, 2 pistons, some stone, and an iron ingot. Storage upgrades, we can get diamonds really easily. If we want to make better storage upgrades, we would need to get emeralds, and emeralds are a little bit harder to come by. We can make them with chromium, beryl, and vanadium, but that's about the only way. Right now we don't really need them, so it's not that big of a deal, but that is the best storage upgrade. The other thing that we will probably want at some point is void upgrades, which are just the upgrade templates surrounded with obsidian. So a lot of that stuff I'm going to kind of do off camera, but one thing that we need to do now is I need to make a drawer key, which requires an upgrade template. And a little bit of gold. Also going to need this for later. The question is, do I have any drawers still lying around? I don't know that I do. At least I don't see any, which is unfortunate. Okay, so we'll have to make another drawer. It doesn't really matter. We'll just do something like this. And there is a drawer. We surround it with sticks. We get some upgrade templates. And the first thing we're going to do is make a drawer key. We can also grab a couple diamonds, which don't have any just lying around, but we can get plenty of diamonds. So let's get 2 diamonds and some sticks. That makes a storage upgrade. And then if we grab some obsidian, which we can EMC, we can make some void upgrades, which will be useful. And basically, other than the compacting drawers, that's pretty much everything that we're going to need for the drawer system. I'm going to make more drawers, obviously, but I do want some compacting drawers. We're going to use it for things like glowstone, maybe. You know what? Let's actually make a compacting drawer, because I want to see if that works for glowstone. We're also going to need some retrieval modules, which requires pistons. So I'm going to need like 3 pistons. Let's get that going. And then we can start working towards some other stuff. So let's go ahead and get 3 pistons. We're going to need a little bit of normal stone, which I should have somewhere. And we're going to need another drawer. Not that big of a deal. Yeah, let's just do normal. I think it's most efficient to use the smaller size drawers, but I just want to make one for now. I will be more efficient later. That one requires something else. Requires that. And then what is on the bottom? A piece of iron. So that is a compacting drawer. Now, compacting drawers are really cool. We put iron in there, and it gives us iron blocks. It does all the recipes that are like 3x3 or 2x2. Now, theoretically, glowstone is something else that we can do in one of these, but I don't know if it'll work because there's not actually a recipe to go from glowstone blocks to glowstone dust. So let's find out. It does. Okay, so that is perfect. Now, here is the cool thing. The drawer key locks drawers. We can lock this drawer, and now if we take all of the items out, we can't put anything else in, which is really useful. So that is something to keep in mind, and in fact is something we're going to use to make sure that nothing else gets into our system that we don't want. Neat thing is we can just right click a drawer controller, and every drawer that's attached to it will immediately get locked. Now these should be locked perfect. These things have a range of I think 12 blocks in every direction, and this is exactly 12 blocks from the center, so we should be able to go. I think this is also 12 blocks. I think it's centered, should be anyways. So we have a lot of storage room, and I've just started kind of storing things. I'll get more later, but all of the crops and all that kind of stuff are going to be coming through, and that is the next thing we need to get set up. We have 2 options. We can make the extraction modules from Pretty Pipes and put them on every single one of these. They all had to be hopper Botany Pots, by the way, so I had to make a lot of iron, had to make a lot of hoppers, but that's not too big of a deal because EMC. But yeah, so the other option is a retrieval module, which is what I have here. So let's get rid of some stuff that I don't need to have up. When I need to make them, I can look up the recipes. But we're going to make a retrieval module now, and I'd like to try to make it upgraded. I want to try to make it the top tier. Locking the drawers is really important for when we hook it up to the system, so that things don't just go in and ruin my day. And specifically, you know, if we hooked our refined storage system up to our drawer system right now and started putting items into the refined storage system, it would put them into the drawer system at random. I don't want that. I want to control where everything goes, and so locking the drawers will prevent any items from going in unless it is what it is like actually says that should go into that drawer, unless we physically put it in ourselves. So that is really cool. We'll probably eventually set this up and put it into there as well, but we need I need to stop this rain here soon, but we need a retrieval module. So this should work. And we're going to start with just the basics. So we're going to need a blank module, which requires compressed iron, stone slabs, and a pipe. I have pipes. We're going to need a little bit of redstone. And do I have any more compressed iron? I don't think I do. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go make some compressed iron. I'm going to sleep as well and get rid of this rain. And I will be back once we're ready to make the retrieval module. Alright, so I have everything we need. I did need to make a bunch more redstone because that is something I was running out of. But we have... Oh man, we need 4 compressed iron per upgrade thing. Module, whatever it's called, blank module, yes. So to make the retrieval module, we need redstone blocks, ender pearl, and sticky piston. Sticky piston is easy enough. We can do this just fine. And there is the retrieval module. This is the low, so it's the slowest. But we're also going to grab the next 2 tiers. So we have some gold, and then medium. With a cosmic ingot, we get the high retrieval module. So theoretically, if this works, and let's go ahead and things are going to move, but for the time being, let's go ahead and set this up. Actually, we can't reach, can we? You know what, we'll just go ahead and break this stuff as well. I do have some items in here, which is unfortunate. Let's go grab a chest. I should have some. You know what? Let's go to the other dimension, and I have some chests lying here that I might be able to get stuff out of. This one should be okay. So let's just do this, and I think, yes, that is perfect. Alright, so I just wanted to grab a chest so that we can move items and not have to worry about things in the refined storage system, so I can kind of show off how the drawer system is going to work. I also have some more elements, so we will deal with those in a minute. But let's go ahead and put that there. And grab all of this stuff. And we're just going to dump everything in here. Perfect. So this is now empty. We are going to break all of these things. And we're going to put the controller here. Crafting grid, disk drive, and our flux point. It is completely empty. There's in fact no storage. So let's head downstairs and we'll connect up our system, which should be pretty easy. We are going to put very high priority on this. And there's not much in here except for mystical flowers. And that is good because what we're going to do is we're going to look at what we have. So we have some mystical flowers. Let's take all of the white flowers out. So theoretically, if we go back down here, in the drawer system, we should see that there are no white flowers. There is the icon for it, but there is none of the actual white flowers. So theoretically, if we put in here this guy, and we put a retrieval module, now we should start seeing Potentially. I'm not entirely sure how the retrieval module works. But theoretically, we should see items start coming in. Let's do all sides. And it might not work. It might not actually know that it can pull things in. So let's go make another chest and we'll experiment a little bit. So worst case scenario, this is a issue of it doesn't interact with the drawers. So let's grab a chest real quick. And what we'll do, and you need to have empty hand. Let's break this guy. Let's pop up a little bit. Okay, there is our pipe. That is nice. And let's put the chest here with the module there, and we'll tell it to go to the chest. And we'll see if we can start getting items in there. We can actually break this. This is a slab, but we should see things start flowing through, potentially. Otherwise, I don't know how this works. What if we have one item already in there? So I'm gonna have to play around with this at some point, but let's just see what we can get into. So what if there's already some white flower petals in there? Is it going to try to pull out from? No. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure that one out. I don't know how these work. I didn't do too much research. I just saw that it was a retrieval, and I know that there are retrieval nodes in other mods that work pretty nicely. So I'll see which, if I can get them to work. That is probably the most important thing. But let's go ahead and break that. And let's go ahead and step away from the storage drawers, because while this is all important, 100%, it is very important. It's not the only thing that we need to do today. So let's get on with other things. So I think before we get into Botania, I do want to go ahead and actually we need some logs. We're going to need to make some more living wood. But before we do any of that, we're going to make some more elements, because why not? And we're going to do 3 iodines with a hydrogen, a helium, that gives us xenon, cesium, and lithium, which gives us barium. And then if we put 2 kryptons in here, we should get, I believe it's hafnium? Yes. And we're getting close to being done with all the elements that we need. So we're going to put all those in there. I'm going to put this away and that away for right now. And let's go ahead and start working towards much better stuff. Much better way to get nether quartz. So first things first, I don't need to be over here yet. I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to be running back and forth a lot. So first thing first, we need to make a floating, well, I would like to make a floating pure daisy. So to get that, we are going to need a floating flower. Doesn't matter what kind. So we need a pasture seed, a glimmering flower, which requires a little bit of glowstone dust, and a piece of dirt. So pretty easy. Let's grab just a random, let's just grab a white mystical flower. It doesn't matter. We're going to need some seeds, dirt, and 2 glowstone. So seeds, dirt, and 2 glowstone. So the first things first, we need to make a glimmering flower, which is just the flower with 2 glowstone. Now this actually is a light source. Can't tell right there, but it is actually a light source. And then if we take the seeds over, let's just do this. Actually, it's grass, right? It's not seeds. It is full-fledged grass, which is just as easy to do. There is some right here. And we just need to throw this into our mana pool, and it will give us a pasture seed, which is used to make grass, by the way. Like, you can use this to turn dirt into grass blocks. But the other thing that's kind of important with it is it's used in some recipes for Botania, and namely, we can make a floating flower. Now, why make a floating flower? Well, there's a couple reasons. Mainly to make our, like, pure daisy floating. But the neat thing about something like a pure daisy that is floating is you don't need to have dirt underneath it, so you can have whatever you want, and it's not washed away by water. Water doesn't do anything to a pure daisy that is floating. So it has its own little island. It's great. So let's just put this right here, and let's get some living wood going. Because what we need to do is we need to make a portal to Alfheim. Now, to do this, we're going to need a bunch of things, and it's going to require a little bit of terra steel. Luckily, it's not too difficult. And we're going to do this right over here, and I think we're going to do it right here. I believe it's a 3? Yes. So we're going to need 1, 2, 3. And first things first, we're going to get a little bit more living wood. And let's go grab some other things. So we are going to need add bookmark. We are going to need 8 living wood blocks, which we have. And then we're going to need a few other variations of living wood. So the first one is glimmering living wood. So I have that here. That is literally just living wood with some glowstone. We need 3 of those. And then we're going to need an Elven gateway core. That is probably the most expensive item because it requires terra steel. So let's grab 1, 2, 3. And I don't remember, does the gateway core? No, it is just the 6 wood and a terra steel. Now, 1 terra steel ingot is actually all you need to talk with the elves because they're nice like that. It's not too bad, but we just do something like this, and there is the Elven gateway core. And then I need 1 more living wood. Let's go ahead and make the glimmering ones. And I might have... I do. Perfect. Alright, so we have most of what we need. This is where things get awful. So there is more to all of this. First of all, we can build the portal. So we just put this down, and we can do something like this. And then we're going to do this. And I might even fill in the corners later. Glimmering living wood also gives off light, so don't have to worry about that. But here's the portal. Just now got to go to Alfheim, right? Well, no, not at all. So does it have to be living wood logs? Okay, it is just living wood. Okay, so we don't actually go to Alfheim. We just throw items through a portal. But the portal doesn't exist yet. Normally you would, activate this, but we're not quite there. We need 2 mana pools, and on top of those mana pools, we need 2 nature pylons. Or, is it nature or is it natura? I believe it's nature pylons. But we need some pylons. It is natura. Okay. So these require terra steel, mana steel, mana diamond, and gold. So all things considered, not too bad. I think I need to get a little bit more gold together, but that is not difficult. So we're going to need 2 of these, which means we need 4 gold. Oh, right, and then Mana Steel is also gold in this mod pack. So we're going to need a little bit more gold. Not a big deal. Let's just get a stack, why not? And get that smelted up. And then we're also going to need diamonds. And we're actually only going to grab one. We're then also going to need Eyes of Ender. Luckily, it is just 2 that we need. So we'll go ahead and get that. And I do actually wonder, are mana pearls EMCable? No, of course not. Okay, that's fine. So all that taken care of, we're going to need 4 of each of those. And for right now, I'm not too worried about anything else. So let's go. We're going to get a mana diamond. That is the first thing. And then we can EMC these, which is amazing. And then 4 gold into Mana Steel, which unfortunately we cannot EMC. It is quite sad. It would be a lot easier if we could. But gold isn't that hard to get for us at this point. EMC is relatively cheap, unless we want to make more EMC. If we want to upgrade stuff, then it gets a little expensive. Which, by the way, we should have 2 red matters. Pretty nice. So we can learn the mana diamond, and then we can get another one. And then we should be able to make 2 mana pylons and turn those into Natura pylons. So then the last thing we need is some living rock, because we need 2 mana pools. And I think, so anywhere around with, okay. Luckily, this is a little bit flexible. We can put these mana pools basically anywhere in 11 by 11 around the Elven core. I'm going to probably put them like here because it looks cool. And it used to be they had to be a very specific location. It was kind of meh. But that's all we have to do. Now we just have to fill these up with enough mana to open the portal and then get the items we want. Now the question is, what items do we want? And the answer to that is we want Elementium and Pixie Dust. Pixie Dust is mana pearls. Elementium is mana steel. So we'll get a little bit of both. And I'm going to fill those up with a bit of mana, which means I'm going to probably have to make some more food and all that fun stuff and deal with the rain. So it's going to take me a little bit of time. I think I might also try to get more elements ready for us. Maybe we'll finish that today as well. I mean, it's just using the fusion reactor. And yeah, I will get some mana. We'll get some elements ready, and I will try to figure out the retrieval module, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back once I have all that stuff done. Alright, so hopefully I have enough mana to do everything that I want, but we should be able to open up this portal, and then we have a few other things to do. I know how to fix the retrieval module thing, so we'll get to that in a minute. But first of all, we're going to need a couple things. Namely, we are going to need some mana pearls. So ender pearls thrown into there gives us mana pearls. And I have a bit of, so we're going to want to keep one of those separate, but I have a bit of mana steel and a bit of mana diamond on me. And I've filled up these guys with a good bit of mana. Hopefully it's enough. Let's find out and try to open the portal to Alfheim. So these things are going to get a huge drop in mana. But I don't believe it costs anything to keep this open. It did a long time ago in the early stages of Botania, but now I believe as long as there's a little bit of mana in these pools, the portal stays open, and it just reduces a little bit based on trades. And the first trade you should always do, throw your book to them, and they'll bring you back a different one with a nice there used to be a nice note. Maybe it's under here. Yeah. So there's a nice crash. Alright, not a crash, but it did take a little bit of time before I was able to get control. And yeah, so there is a message from the Elven Guard, and now anything in our Lexica Botania, I can say those words, that is green is information from the elves. And basically, they have told us a bunch of things that we can do. Now, the other 3 things we can trade with them is mana diamonds, to get Dragonstone, which is EMCable. That is good to know. We can throw in Mana Steel to get Elementium, and it is 2 Mana Steel for every Elementium, and Mana Pearls to get Pixie Dust. Pixie Dust is probably the most important thing, and we can't go through the portal, unfortunately. But Pixie Dust is probably the most important thing, and was the main thing that we were after, other than we did need a little bit of Elementium. So, first things first, we're going to take this guy off. And one thing that we're going to be able to do now is, it should be under Mana Manipulation and Spark Augments. So, augmenting sparks, so these things right here, is really powerful. We can basically make a battery bank, or we can have a variety of mana pools kind of sitting around. The other thing that might be good is if we ever want to make the Kekimerus flower, which is a little bit better than the Gorgomillis, but we'll see. So the big thing that I wanted was a Conjuration Catalyst, and to do that we're going to need an Alchemical Catalyst, and I should have everything we need. And the first thing we're going to need is a couple of brewing stands. And then we are going to want to make the Alchemy Catalyst, which is what we needed the other Mana Pearl for. And then we're going to turn that directly into... what's the recipe? Okay. Directly into a Conjuration Catalyst, because this thing is what we need to duplicate Nether Quartz, which is the main goal for today. So we just put that down, and you can see the symbol underneath. It's kind of cool. I like that Botania does that. Botania is a really neat mod, and it has a lot of really cool like visual effects. And it's not the coolest out there. It's definitely not the like quote unquote. Well, okay, Botania is not a magic mod. It is magically themed, but it is a tech mod, all things considered. But that being said, there are some really cool mods out there that do really neat things with like visuals and whatnot. But anyways, we can grab some Nether Quartz. So we have 16. We can take this over, and I don't know how expensive it's going to be in terms of mana, and I kind of want to see that before we do too much. But you know, we have, it looks like about 3/4 of a bar. We can just throw all of those in there and get 34, and it did a good bit. So mana might be a little bit of a problem with that, but all things considered, I'll take it. It's fine. Now I do wonder, is there a, so we can get blocks of quartz, but blocks of quartz do not give us, is there anything that is EMCable that we can kind of convert back and forth? No. Okay. Seeing if there was a cheeky way to get around stuff, but there's not. So let's get around some other stuff. What do we want to do next? So we have Lexica Botania. I'm going to just dump all this stuff in here for right now. And the Pixie Dust is probably the most important, like I said. We can use it to make player heads, but we can also use it to make the Kekimerus. Pixie Dust is pretty useful. I do want to grab some Dragon Stones, and we're going to EMC those, because why wouldn't we? And now we can get all the Dragon Stones that we want. Unfortunately, they're the like least useful of all the stuff, but that's fine. So, you know, since we're here, I have all of the chemical stuff ready. So just take all this stuff out, and zirconium with hydrogen gives us niobium. Yeah, we're just gonna get. I think that was helium gives us molybdenum. Titanium is with the lithium. Beryllium gives us ruthenium. Carbon. You get the idea. Palladium, fluorine, indium, and magnesium should give us tellurium. Most of these things are not terribly useful. And then you can just go dump all this stuff in here. Learn it all. And then we have hafnium with hydrogen. Just going to get rid of all those because I think we're going to have all of it. Tantalum, lithium gives us something else. Boron gives us something else. And fluorine gives us the last one, presumably, that we need. And that should be periodic table of elements completed? No. So, maybe not. There is nothing else that I can see. Did we get all of them? So I'll go back through and make sure, because it doesn't say that it's completed. It would have, you know, nice, you know, song and dance and all that kind of stuff, but I don't see anything else. So I don't know if there's another quest or something, but maybe we have completed it. But quick scan says we've checkmarked everything that's there. So I don't know. Anyways, on to the final problem. The final issue that we had was with our retrieval module. So I've gone ahead and done a little bit of stuff. Specifically, what we're going to do is we're going to put the retrieval module in here. And then we need a pipe. And we're going to disconnect that because, yeah. So the retrieval module doesn't do anything. But what if we take an orange flower and we put it in here as a filter? And if we sit here for a second, you'll see. Actually, we can just go look. But, you know, white flowers are going across, and all the orange flowers are coming through. Now, there is a speed upgrade thing, a high-speed increase module, which is just some gold and sugar, iron and sugar, redstone and sugar, and then the blank modules. Those work really, really well, but have to be placed on these things. That's okay. We don't really care how quickly they're moving. However, we're only now going to get orange flowers. That's not quite what we want. So, how do we get this to work the way we want it to? We need another item. We need another module. And that module is expensive, but we need the mod filter modifier. So, this requires an anvil. So, let's get that. And just a little bit of redstone. A little bit of redstone, and then one of the modules, which we should have. Oh, right, I need to cut you into stone slabs. So pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And just 3 more redstone gives us the mod filter modifier. And what this does is it makes it, it says causes any filter slot to filter by mod. So what that means is we can put that in here, and you put it right here, and then on our retrieval we can say, for example, mystical white flower, we're going to have farmer's delights, and we're going to have Minecraft, and you should notice that it's going to start pulling literally everything. So there is all the magenta flowers, light blue flowers, yellow flowers, and it's all going to be pulled into the system. And if we go upstairs, so basically we just need to put a filter that says what it needs to pull in. We have 11 magenta, and that is going to change very, very soon. And we're going to have a ton more. Now, the other thing is that if a drawer fills up, it shouldn't extract unless there's a space, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. And so eventually we'll have all those drawers filled with the different flowers. At some point, they will get into the system. There they are. So there goes magenta. It's not the way I want it. I want it by name. I always sort by name because I don't like when I take items out for it to move. But yeah, there we go. So at this point, all I need to do is eat more food. But all I need to do is hook up all the rest of the farms that I want, and it will eventually pull everything out. If I want to make it faster, I can put speed upgrades and all these things, but not that important. And then eventually we will have, you know, all the drawers filled up and all that. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to continue to try to get more levels. And next time, hopefully we can go fight the dragon. I think it's about time for us to just go fight the dragon. We'll try to get some enchants going. I do know that if I enchant a pickaxe at level 30, I'll get Fortune 3, which would be really nice. Not that important, but it's still nice. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today's episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We opened a portal to Alfheim. We got some stuff. We have automated some farms, which I need to work on that some more. And yeah, I'm going to work on getting more stuff kind of automated. I'll try to figure out if there is anything here. I don't see any more quests. Maybe there's one that will open up later. I don't know. But yeah, we will continue working on things. Maybe there's nothing because it is optional. It doesn't have the fanfare for completing the chapter, but yeah, I'm gonna get more stuff together. Hopefully get some more levels and start moving everything into the main base. Maybe even deconstruct most of this at some point. By the way, we have like 3 red matters, which is awesome. I'm just gonna throw that into our system, and eventually we will upgrade the power flowers and continue kind of working, getting more EMC stuff. So yeah, next time hopefully we're gonna go fight the dragon and do stuff in the end, but we'll see once we get there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.